Disclaimer, this series is not for clout, hype, or shortcuts. Every trade is shown, every loss is capped. This is a real-time experiment in discipline, accountability, and mature trading. Discipline over dopamine. If you're the type of trader that gets wins, grows your portfolio, and then slowly gives those wins back after following weeks, then this series is for you. Hey guys, what's up? It's Seb here, and today is episode 2 of the Trench Redemption. I'm glad to have you guys back, and today is kind of our first episode of getting into the actual trading side of things. So we're going to get right into the action here. Let's jump into our terminal. The link for terminal is in the description if you guys haven't used it. It's very similar to Axiom or BullX, and you can use my link down in the description to save money on your trading fees and also help me out. All right, so we're going to start off today's series, or today's episode rather, by just quickly doing a setup on our terminal. Like I said in the last episode, I'm just coming over from Axiom onto this platform, so I don't really have anything set up as of yet. We're not going to be trading right now. We're just going to quickly set up some indicators, and you guys can see my setup and see what indicators I use and why. The first one that I like to add onto the chart is RSI, so I'm going to go ahead and put a star next to that, pull this onto my chart. The next one that I also like to use is moving averages, MA cross. We'll just edit this MA cross. There we go. So I like to do 1350 style. We'll do red. So this is kind of just basic setup. I also will be using the fib, which is this here. I kind of explained that in the last video, but I just wanted to set up these two indicators. Now, indicators and TA is not really super applicable to meme coin trading, but if there's a tool that can kind of help us get an idea of what a chart may do, then obviously we're going to use that tool. So let's just go ahead and take a quick look at trending. I like to do this when I start a trading session because I kind of like to see what the meta is. Right now, if you take a look down here, $85 Solana current value. That is pretty low. We have ETH under 2K. BTC I think is like at 70 or something like that, 75 or even less maybe. The market is kind of in a free fall panic mode right now. But there are still people in the trenches, and we are going to see what we can do. Come back to the trenches here and see if we can find something that's worth buying. Now, if you guys haven't seen episode 1 of the series, I highly suggest that you go back and actually take a look at it, because in this series, we are going to be trading with a very strict system, which I went over all the rules in episode 1, and we won't be deviating from the system. We are going to follow it like it's the law. Some of the rules include a 10% maximum bid size, certain holding and selling techniques, certain rules to prevent myself from tilting and tilt trading, and we are going to try to follow it as best as we can. So if you haven't seen the first episode, make sure you go back and take a look at that so you can kind of get the overall gist of this series and what we're going to be doing here. So I'm just going to keep scanning away until I see something that I like. Rock, make it green. What is this about? Crypto is crashing. People are so desperate that they ask Grok to change the price, flip the chart upside down. Okay. I guess this is the guy who launched it, LARP. Deck's not paid. Let's take a look at the holders. No bubble map or anything yet. This chart just looks like it's getting super bundled. This is dead. Yeah, there's the dump, there's the rug. That's how it works. When you guys see a chart like this that is just green, a little bit of red, green, like when you just see like not natural chart movement there, then you do not want to buy. Bear market screaming therapy, Scream DAO. 11K, it's been out for 26 minutes. Decent looking bubble map. So what I'm going to do, and this is a rule that's in our rules that we made last episode, is I'm going to set a 2-minute timer on my phone. And during this 2 minutes, I have to set this timer before I enter any trade. That's one of the rules. And during the 2 minutes, I'm doing a full analytical review on the coin. This is kind of just to prevent me from falling into an old bad habit that I used to have, which was just aping and then doing my research after, which is not how you want to be doing things. You want to be doing your research before you buy. So I put this rule in place kind of to like slow me down a little bit, because sometimes I get a little bit too excited and I jump into a trade and then it's could have been a saved loss if I just took my time and did my research before I made the decision to get in. So what I'm looking for here is some exchange funding. I don't see the top 10 holders with, okay, there's 2 Bybit accounts. I'm also looking at the balance of these wallets. If I see that top holders, like here, for example, has 0.1 SOL in their wallet, but they're all in on this coin, like that's kind of a red flag. Scream DAO. I don't really like this meme. One thing that I'm trying to practice as well is just being more picky and more selective when it comes to what I'm buying. But right now, with the trenches the way that they are, it might take a little bit for me to actually find something that's worth buying. Not really too much going on here, so I'm just gonna pause, do my scanning, and then I'll resume when I find something that I actually think might be a good buy. Alright, so I just found this one. It's called Biden. Bring back Biden. Ticker is Biden. Kind of a play on the fact that since Trump has come in, a lot of markets have not been doing so hot. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer here, 2 minutes starting now to do my background checks. I like the meme and it kind of fits the narrative of like market is kind of shit right now. So I'm just checking these top holders. I see that this one is all in, which is not a good sign. Binance. These two are kind of tied together in what looks like a bundle. The bubble map is not amazing. A lot of Binance, and when you see this and you see a lot of wallets that are all holding 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, like it's kind of a red flag. It's at 10K market cap. Let me check here the community. Oh, it's literally just a tweet from some random account. I'm kind of getting a little bit of red flags from this coin. No Twitter community is kind of a big deal. The meme is good though. Let me see if it's been done. It has been done. It's been done with the same image a bunch of times. It's kind of giving red flags. I think I'm just going to keep an eye on this one and see if it comes down a little bit, maybe to like 7K. And then if it does, I'll take a pop at it. My 2-minute timer is about to go up here. So I did my analysis. I found this coin. It might not be a bad one. I like the variety of these funded wallets here. 2%, 2%. There is a lot of top holders. So I don't know, but it does look kind of good for today's narrative down. It was done an hour ago as well, and it was rugged. This one looks like it might be able to move. Don't really feel comfortable blasting it at 12K, so I'm gonna, if it breaks ETH here, maybe I'll ape in. But I would like to get in on a little bit of a dip. And I like that I haven't seen any KOLs buy in on it yet. It's coming down 11, 11.7. Just give me a nice little red candle. 11.2, 11.6. Let's come down a bit more into the 10K range. I'll enter there. This might be a good buy. So did I buy? Oh shit, I might have accidentally bought twice. Oh no, I only bought once. Okay. So we're going to set our stop loss here at minus 25%. We'll sell 100%. So let's see how this goes. We're entered in on this trade. Kind of like the meme. Kind of fits today's narrative. We're not looking for massive gains here. The thesis and the plan for this series is to just stack up until we can grow our portfolio, compounding small wins and building a structure and a strategy that will allow us to grow in the long term. Decent volume on this coin. Hopefully it pans out for us. Volume's looking pretty good. Like I said, this narrative is kind of perfect for what's going on today and the panic and what's going on in the market. I still have this Biden coin open, and it's still kind of holding up nicely. The volume is a lot slower than the one that we're in right now. But this is looking pretty good. Looks like it's about to break all-time high. There we go. Nice little bit of volume. We have some people watching. I like to watch this number right here because it tells you how many active traders are looking at the chart currently. We're up about 43%. I'm thinking about pulling my initials pretty shortly here. The volume is still quite nice. Looks like we're getting a little bit of resistance at this new ATH. So we're going to try to play this smart. Little pullback is expected. That's a bundle dump right there. Let's be patient, not panic too much just yet. The volume is still growing, which is a strong indicator. We're up 20%. Now we're looking for a higher low to be set. So the bundle just rebought. It's kind of a shakeout. Let's see if it breaks up now. If it comes down, I'll probably just exit. I want to see it break the all-time high here as a validation. And if it doesn't, then I'm probably just going to exit. So this is a very key part of the trade. And I'm giving you guys my thought process. Okay, so looks like it might break out, which is what we're looking for. I want to get my initials out of this trade and secure the profitable position. So on the next little green candle right there, I'm going to go ahead and take out my initial, and we're going to let the rest ride a little bit. So the reason why I did that is because we're trading with a low portfolio. We want to compound profit as best as we can, and taking out my initial there at around 50% is kind of a good strategy to do that. So right now I'm riding this trade risk-free. I've already removed my initial investment, so the possibility of me turning this into a trade that is not profitable is zero now. I've just secured my profit essentially. Now I do think this can go a little bit because, like I said, narrative is good. So we're going to try to break it out, or wait for it to break out into another range, and then start taking our actual profits out. But yeah, not a bad little execution here so far. We did the smart thing and we took our profits early. We're just going to see how this plays out. Let's see what happens here. Let's try to get a little candle to pull a little 25%. We'll just pull it right there. Cash out a little bit just to secure an actual profitable position. Like I said, we're trying to do this the smart way. We're not trading on emotion. We're not hoping for that big spike. We're using this setup that we found and trying to get a profitable trade out of it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of kind of the chop that I'm seeing around here. When a chart kind of moves sideways like this, it could be a bearish signal. So I'm just going to be very careful. Don't want to round trip. Now, I know it's kind of difficult for me to round trip since I've already taken my profit out. The one thing I'm really looking at is this volume on the 5-minute. This is staying pretty constant, which is a bullish sign. If I see this dip down to like 15K all of a sudden, or if I see the chart dumping, which it's doing right now. But it recovered. See, like a small little dip like that and a recovery is a good sign. And the volume is increasing. So I'm not super scared just yet. Okay. Now the volume is still growing. Now, I'm seeing a lot of chart manipulation in terms of bundles. This is all kind of just bundles swinging things around. Not ideal. But still could survive. Not going to panic just yet. Definitely needs to hold this bottom here. Yeah, looks like it's cooked. Well, guys, I'm kind of glad I showed you this because this is kind of what can happen in the meme coin world. Just as fast as things go up, they can go back down. But it looks like there's a chance that we can get a recovery here. My execution was really not perfect on this trade, but one thing that I did really well, and one thing that I'm glad that I did, was I took my initials out early, and that is something that, as you can see, if I didn't do that, I would have just been completely destroyed on this trade. So that's one thing that we're going to keep doing, and it looks like it's actually kind of recovering here. Again, I'm looking at this volume, and I'm seeing a good number there. Now, this could just be like an exit pump, but what I'll do is I'll throw this fib on here. So it bounced right around the 618, which is kind of a good number. That's good typical chart behavior. And it looks like we're actually starting to get back to a decent spot here. And it's breaking out. I'm actually going to sell 50% on the next little green pump just to secure the win because I don't want to round trip this coin. Let's see. 27K volume. Kind of not looking amazing at this point. So give me a little green candle real quick. Right here, I'm just going to took a little bit of profit there, just to secure. Like I said, we're trying to secure numbers, secure the green. We're trading kind of quickly here. And if it breaks down below this line, kind of right here, I'll make a horizontal line for you guys to see. Horizontal line. If it breaks below like here, then I'm just going to go ahead and exit because that's a break of structure. And it broke below that line. So we're just going to take it and move on. So not a bad little trade there. It could continue and it could rebound and push higher, but not too bad. How do I see my P&L? So there's my P&L. We made 48% on the trade, 0.04 Solana profit. Not bad. Let's just keep moving and see what we can find. SSR shitcoin, strategic shitcoin reserve. SSR. Let's set my 2-minute timer real quick. There we go. Do my research. Looks like it hasn't really been done before. Dex is already paid. Holders. 0.2, not a great sign. Binance with 6 SOL, 21 SOL in there, 17 SOL in there. More Binance. I'm not seeing a whole lot of exchanges listed, and I'm also not seeing anything on the bubble map, which could be a bad sign. Twitter community here. Should I pay Dex 10 minutes ago? He's talking about paying Dex, and he did pay Dex. Looks like this one's dead. I don't mind this coin. Don't really want to enter here. The volume is half decent. Don't want to top blast is my only thing. But I don't mind the coin. So if I see volume holding and I see a little dip, maybe down to like the, I don't know, 10K-ish range. Let's set up the fib. I always like to get in around this kind of teal line here, which is the 618 level. That's kind of a nice dip buying spot. What was that other coin that I just traded? Down. Oh shit, did it rug? Yeah, it rugged. So look, guys, see, good thing I took my profit here when I did. I could have really ruined the trade here by not selling. At least I did take my initials out when I did. Very smart. I could have round tripped. I got lucky and I got another exit bounce, and I wasn't gonna miss out on that opportunity twice. So I made sure to take my profit because my poor execution here could have really burned me. Didn't want to turn the trade sour, so I just was safe, took my profit, and look what happened shortly after. So that's an execution that ideally I would have sold more here. Unfortunately, I didn't, and it dipped, but I luckily got a second exit bounce, and I took it and got out, so not bad. SSR, this is still looking okay, and I have some people kind of entering. Who's this? Don't know who this is. Ghosty? Ghosty, yeah. There's Ghosty out, decent dip. Let's see if it dips now more because of panic. We'll try to get in around like 18, 19K. Like kind of around. It should dip more. It can't keep going up here, right? But I do like the coin, and I think it should dip more. The volume is good. Decent bit of viewers. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Give me one more. A little more, a little more. Okay, that's my entry right here. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it's not letting me in faster. I got to figure out that. But we're going to set our stop loss. That's very important. First thing to do. Set our stop loss at 25%. We'll see how this goes. We're up 9% at the moment. This is kind of, I think, going to be a short-term kind of hold. I don't think this coin has the craziest amount of legs. So we're just going to try to get in and out quickly for a little bit of P. Let's see what happens here. Ideally, I want to kind of see it push up just a little bit higher and then pull my initials out. But if things start to go sour, I should not be upset to just take my quick profit. Decent coin. So we'll see what happens here. It's coming back down. Could be setting a higher low here, which is a good sign. And this is kind of a key bounce point right here. If it bounces here, it's a good sign. If it breaks below this, I might just exit for like 10-15% profit. But we want to see it kind of hold up in this range. And because the reason why I'm saying that is if you look here, this was an obvious zone of resistance. It broke through that resistance, and now that resistance is flipped into a support. So we want to see it hold up on this support line right here. Kind of just basic support and resistance, but it does apply to meme coins too. So it did kind of hold that support. Now what we're looking for is a new higher high. which it looks like it's going to hit. Now break out decently so I can pull my initials. Could also be a double top signal here. So just need to be wary of that. Again, we're looking for it to hold that support/resistance line right here. And it did just get rejected at that same resistance all-time high. If we see it break down, we're just going to exit. I definitely want to see it break. Ooh, dev bought, which might be bullish. I mean, only $8. Sometimes that's bullish, sometimes that's bearish. So what I'm going to do is wait for a little break. That was my chance. Okay, there we go. KOL just bought in. We're up 66%. I'm just going to take my initials out there. So I secured my initials at around 70% gains, which is decent. So now we can kind of just ride this for free. But it looks like the volume is picking up. We're getting some KOLs jumping in. Looks like it could be a pretty decent little trade here. I don't know. I think it migrated. So we're just going to actually pull. Let's get a little break here so I can pull a little bit of profits. This KOL guy, I don't know who it is. Yenny, he's still buying more. 40K. All right, we're going to take some there. Just scalping off 25%. People are starting to sell. Here's the little dump. Good volume, though. 39K. This number is very important, guys. Let's see how it holds out in this range. This is kind of important. Oh, nice. We're going to take some profit on there. Yeah, definitely a good candle to sell on. Volume is growing. Ooh, big sell-off right there. Let's see if it recovers. This is a very important range here. If it doesn't recover here, then it might be cooked. That was a huge sell. But the volume is actually still increasing, and people are still buying. Let's see. I should have sold. Just completely rugged me out, and I think I just got sold out. Right? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. 56%. Not a horrible trade. I could have definitely executed it better by selling a little bit more. I think I was up to like 130% profit or something. But we made 0.05, 56%. Not bad, not ideal. We'll just keep on moving along now. The Simpsons theory. Now, this is right up my wheelhouse. Holy shit, Simpsons yet again predicted another thing that can happen. Let's see. Doesn't work, apparently. This page doesn't exist. If this... Attention, crazy creeps on an island somewhere secretly running the world. I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean, kind of plays into the whole Epstein drama that's going on in the world right now. Could be good. Like, obviously the Simpsons have predicted a lot of shit, and I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, so that kind of does pique my interest. But this is scary. You see all these wallets funded by, and they're all 1.7%, 1.7, 1.5, 1.5. Like, that's kind of very blatantly scary. So I'm not going to enter this coin because it's probably just going to rug to zero. Solid idea, solid like narrative that could be played on, but the metrics of the whole thing and the volume, yeah, there you go. See, that's that just goes to show you, like, you need to take the time. This is why I have the 2-minute rule in place, because you do need to take the time to do your research. That's why these rules are in place, and that is a very good example of the rule saving me in a trade scenario. So yeah, that's what we're building with this series. We're trying to just keep our structure and trade not emotionally, but using our brain and using our system. I like this, though. Is our crypto okay, honey? Wife Jack. Is our crypto okay, honey? It was done before. I do like this, though. Let me just do a quick check here. I have to set my 2-minute timer. Let's do that. Do our little check. 4% is too much. I don't like that. 3%, 3%, 3%. Autism Capital tweeted it when 12:33, 3 minutes ago. I like this. Yeah, I think I like this. This is very obviously bundled, so it could nuke to 0, but the meme is quite good. So I'm going to try to get in on a dip. Just looking for a little 20% dip so I can get in. I don't want to top blast because this is very heavily bundled. Chart kind of scares me now. This is where it's either going to rug to 0 or it's going to dip for an entry. So don't want to fall for this trap, but that was probably it. This might be a ape trap here. I do like the meme. It's just a matter of whether or not this is a scam. I'm going to enter here. This is kind of a risky play, so I'm going to set myself up in a way so that I don't immediately just get cucked. So we'll set our stop loss. But I'm buying this kind of on a whim, a little bit risky, but I like the meme and I like the way that the volume is looking right now. It is very obviously bundled. This is a bundled coin. Oh, yeah, that happens, guys. That happens, unfortunately. Stupid mistake, but it's good to show you guys what can happen. I just lost 80%. My stop loss did not save me there. So I had the stop loss in place. I knew it was bundled, but I fell for it. And you know what, guys? This can happen in trading. This will happen. So I'm glad that you guys saw that. I'm glad that you showed that. Unfortunately, the 2 wins that we just made were completely eliminated by that loss. It's just meme coins. That's just the game that we play. I saw the red flags. I didn't listen to my intuition. This is the behavior that I'm trying to correct in this series, because this is kind of something that I used to fall for in the past. 3%, 3%, 3%. I like this meme, job not done. It's Kobe. Like, that's an iconic interview there. There is some serious bundling going on here. Bubble maps shows a couple bundles. That might be the entry. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. And we just got stopped out there, guys. So what happened there? We took 2 losses in a row. This is the behavior that I'm trying to correct. Not good, Seb. Not good. We aped right back into another play. This is what we need to fix. Anyways, what happened there? We just took 2 losses in a row. What does that mean? The rule states, if you go back to the previous episode and you look back, our rule states that upon taking 2 losses in a row, we must take a break. So the break must be at least 2 hours. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to end stream. I'm going to come back in about 2 hours. Maybe play some video games, take my mind off of trading a little bit. We're going to come back in 2 hours and then continue.
2 hours later.
Oh, I'm an idiot, guys. I'm so sorry. So I forgot to hit record. I entered a trade. I went away from camera. I took my break, and unfortunately, when I came back, I did some scanning. I thought that I pressed record, but I didn't. And we actually just made this trade. So I'm going to show you what happened. It was a good trade. Unfortunately, I didn't record it. I wish you guys could have seen it. But I bought into this coin at around 8K market cap, and then I saw a lot of volume and a lot of KOLs buying into it. So I held it, and I took my initials right here, just to de-risk, and then I ended up selling the rest of the bag because it was about to get close to migration, and I just wanted to secure the dub. So here's the trade. Here's my P&L. We actually made 174%, which is really, really good. We needed that after the 2 losses that we took earlier. I really wish I was recording because basically I saw this coin, I saw the name and the narrative, and I just saw insane volume right off the rip and a lot of KOLs buying and selling. So I kind of figured that this was like a little bit of an insider trade. And I found this coin based on a wallet that I track. That's how I just clicked the notification because I liked the name, jumped into it, got a little bit lucky, but we executed it well. Now, unfortunately, if we had rid this coin all the way to the top, we would have made a lot more. But you know what? We just wanted to secure a dub, and the way that the volume was moving was so fast. And when coins are moving so fast like this, yes, they can go up super fast, but they can also come down just as fast. So yeah, we came back, we made a good trade, and we are currently up to 1.04 Solana, which is awesome. I don't know exactly what we started the video at, but I can go back and post and figure it out to see how much profit we're up on the video. But yeah, nice little trade there. the break definitely helped, man. Like as much as it kind of sucked to step away from recording and take a 2 hour time break, it did help kind of reset my mental and come back in a clean slate after getting those two losses earlier. So I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that that rule was in place, and we can continue moving along. French fry, decent volume. It's literally just a fry. McDonald's surpasses Ethereum. It's off a Polymarket tweet. Ooh, let me set my 2 minute timer here. Just basically based off of a Polymarket tweet. I'm not a huge fan of this, to be honest. Yeah, and that is just an instant no thank you. Not buying that. This hard money is kind of doing okay, but it looks very bundled. Two soul, two soul, two soul. Yeah, like this is completely bundled. It's gonna go to 0. Let's not buy that. This one just rugged out. Okay. See, that's why we do our 2 minute timer on the phone. That's why we do our check, because I could have just bought in at 6K and just got completely destroyed on that. So, see, guys, I'm putting these rules into practice for the first time. I've never really traded with a strict like rule list in the past, and I'm noticing that as much of a pain in the ass it kind of is to follow these rules all the time, it is saving me and it is kind of working. So, it's a little bit encouraging stuff there. So I just jumped back into this French fry coin. Just looking at the chart, I do see a lot of movement, and the chart looks okay. It looks like it might actually leg up. I'm just gonna quickly do a quick check. I know I already did a 2 minute check on this coin previously, but that was before when it was very, very bundled. So I kind of just want to take a look to see what it's looking like now. The volume is good. This is the one that's going off of that tweet, right? Yeah, the Polymarket tweet that McDonald's has surpassed Ethereum. I don't know. Might take a little swing at this one. The volume is quite nice. I'm just going to try to wait until it gets to a decent dip here. I'm not always the biggest fan of buying on, like, this is like the phase 1 move, the initial pump, and then this would be the phase 2 move, which would be like the consolidation and the second pump. But this is looking somewhat promising. Yeah, it's looking quite good. 17K is still within the range where I would be okay to enter. Let me see, is there a Twitter community? There is, and they have 12 members, and people are tweeting about it. See if it comes down a bit more. I'd rather get in at like 13, but you know what? That looks like quite a bullish signal. All-time high is what, 23? Yeah, come down a little bit for me there, buddy. I want to get in at around 14K if I can. Looks like it's hitting a bit of resistance. Yeah. 15. Can you come down a bit lower for me there, pal? Should come down. Yeah, people are exiting. That would have been the entry, but this is a very kind of detrimental part of the chart. The volume is still at 20K, which is good. But people are going to panic. 13K. You know what? I'll take a swing at it. I just jumped in. Oh, and good thing I did. Wow, that's excellent. So let me just set my stop loss. And after this trade, I'm going to... Hold on, just setting my stop loss. After this trade, I'm actually going to set an automatic selling parameter. I know you can do it in Axiom. I just haven't taken the time to do it yet in Terminal. But this is looking quite good so far. And I timed that bottom. Like you can't do better than that, honestly. That was a perfectly timed bottom. I'm looking to take my initials pretty soon here, maybe at around 30K. I'm going to hover the button and just get ready for it. Volume is still decent, 22K. It's going to come down. But I do want to get out of this trade relatively quickly, because did you see how high and how fast that candle spiked the chart? That's a little bit scary. 70% gains is quite good to secure my profit at, but I do think that it's going to pump a little bit higher. Let's see. However, just as fast as it went up, it can easily come back down on my head. So I'm just going to be wary of that. but the way that the chart is holding up and the volume is still remaining pretty constant is a good sign. Nice. Okay, so we're going to take our initials here. Oh, apparently not. There we go. We're going to take our initials out here at around 85% gains. Now that my initials are out, I think my sell strategy is just going to be a full clip. It is a decent narrative, but at the end of the day, it's just a French fry. So I don't see this coin going to 100 or 200K. Like, it's not funny enough, I think, to go that distance. So we're just going to kind of see how it goes here. Migration is only 34K market cap, and typically when coins are getting close to migration, they will dump down. So I think if it gets above 30, I'll take like the majority of my profit. There is a chance that this could do well after migration, but I do want to secure the win. So let's see if we get up to around 30K, which it looks like it's going to push to now. Just being patient here, but I do want to get some profits out pretty shortly. So we're up around the 30K range. Let's see what it does here. Because I haven't yet seen a coin that has done... Oh, there we go. Getting pumped up close to migration, but it gets rejected. I haven't seen coins going super far post-migration today, not gonna lie. Like, I haven't seen runners going 100, 150K. But this guy's top blasting right before migration. I'm gonna take my 75% profit right there. I sold pretty much, I think, around the top, but we are migrated now. I have pretty much fully exited this trade. I'm just riding like a little small moon bag, just in case it gets some crazy legs here. Now, of course, the one that I played safe and the one that I took my profits on wisely is going to be the one that completely sends, because that's just my luck as a trader, and that's how this shit goes. But at the end of the day, you can't be upset. Seeing a lot of resistance here. It's going to chop around and then either go up or down, and that's going to guide my decision. Volume is quite good. Okay, broke down. See? So that's why we take our profit, because post-migration, this type of stuff happens all the time. So I'm just going to try to time like a decent little bounce and then close out the rest of the position. Like I said, I'm only holding a little tiny bit. That looks good right there. All right, so we're fully out of the trade. Let's take a look at what we made here. So we made 132%, quite good. I'm happy with that. We actually executed it quite well. And honestly, I'll give the execution on this trade like A+. Now we've got Cupsy buying in and other people buying in, but at this point, honestly, this coin is probably, I could see it maybe going to 60 or 70K. I don't see it going higher than that. And our entry was literally like as good as it gets. This is probably like A+ execution for me, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, that went quite well. 132% is very nice. We will take that. And we are currently sitting at 1.17 Solana, which is pretty good. That's almost 20%. Should be around like actually 20 to 25% gains on the session from where we started. Yeah, there we go, dipping down. This looks pretty much dead. But I'm pretty happy with how this session has gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be proactive and just go ahead and end this session here. I'll give a little rundown of how that session went kind of after I've just decided to end it, kind of as a little bit of a debrief. And I'm going to do these at the end of every one of my videos. I'm going to do a little post-session debrief. So we started out with a profitable trade. We then made another profitable trade. I don't think the execution was very good on that first trade, if I remember correctly, but we corrected it for the second trade. We got a decent little bit of profit. And then our third trade was a really bad, unfortunate event of a rug. And then what happened after that, if I remember correctly, is I kind of tilted a little bit, jumped back into another trade right away, which is something that I tended to do in the past. And it's something that I'm trying to correct in my behavior. That's the whole point of this series, guys. It's not necessarily to make content for people to watch. It's not necessarily to get clicks or to get clout or anything like that. I'm making this for myself to record my behavior and record my trading sessions and correct these bad habits that I've made over the years. So I do realize I made a bad habit in this video by jumping right into another trade. Even though I did my 2-minute check, I jumped right back in after a pretty emotional loss of 80% getting rugged. So my rule set kicked in there. I had to take a break. I took my break. I came back and I found a good coin to jump into. And then I found another decent trade right after that. So we're ending the video in the green. We're ending the session in a clear mind space, and I'm happy with that. So this has been the Trench Redemption episode 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon for episode number 3. What's up, guys? This is Editor Seb here. I just figured that after going through that whole session and editing the footage, I wanted to jump in and do a quick kind of post-session analysis of what I saw and what I liked and what I didn't like. Starting off with the beginning, at the beginning of the session, I did a very good job of not aping into everything that I saw. I took my time. I used the 2-minute rule to do my analysis of breaking down whether the coin is a good entry or not, and I finally was able to settle on a couple of trades that looked good and had a good setup, and those netted me some decent profits. Now, my execution was not amazing on those trades. I could have fully clipped out and made like 150% on the first one and around 80 or 90% on the second one. So I might try to change my behavior in the next episode, and for the first few trades of the day, just quickly hit that sell button and get out with as much as I can. And then obviously going into the middle portion of that session, I unfortunately fell back into some old demons, some old bad habits. The first of which being that one where I was rugged. I clearly recognized that the trade was not a safe trade. I even said it out loud 3 or 4 times that this is a bundle, this is very risky, I'm not sure about this trade, this chart scares me. I said it to myself, and it was very obvious right in front of me, and I still fell into the FOMO of a decent meme, and I didn't want to miss the runner, so I aped it anyways, and I was almost immediately burned, and you guys saw that. That is a behavior that I have done time and time again in the past, and that is what I'm trying to kind of fix with this series. So I got unlucky in a way with my stop loss not hitting at 25%, but I'm glad it happened because it was a lesson I needed to learn. I lost 80% on that trade. Now, another bad habit that I fell into right after is after that trade and after I took that loss, you could visually see in my face that I was tilted. And what did I do? I just jumped right back into the next coin that I saw, and I got stopped out right away for a minus 25%. That is the whole purpose of this series for me, is trying to correct these stupid decisions that I make and try to eliminate that type of behavior from my life and continue to follow this system that I have in place. So the good thing that this video showed as well is my 2-hour break did work. I came back after the break with a clean head and a fresh slate, and I established a decent setup. I found a good setup that I executed well, made my profits, and then continued that into the last trade. So I guess my takeaway coming back from a reflective standpoint is I just need to recognize when I'm tilting and when I feel like I just took a shot and I want to go back and make that money back that I just lost, and I just need to slow down a little bit, cool my head, maybe take 5 minutes to just walk around and step away from the screen. But overall, good session. We ended up in profit on the day, and I'm excited to continue this series and see where it goes. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that sub button or even just drop a like on the video. Follow me on Twitter, Seb on Soul, and I hope to see you guys around for the next one. Cheers.